Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. May I have your attention, please? Today we are going to have a session on IELTS reading, and we'll have a complete class on academic IELTS reading. During this session, we will cover a variety of questions, and I'll give you some techniques, some tips, and all that, right? I was actually stuck in driving today before coming here, so that's why my face is like this, but after a few minutes it's going to be all right, right? Looking at you, and then I'll get energy from you, so I'll be fine. It depends now, you give me negative energy or positive energy, right? If your mask is going to open wide and it'll go back, that'll give me negative energy. But when you smile, your eyes actually show me the smile. So there, yeah, he's smiling now. That is positive energy, okay? So you should give me all positive energy. Remember one thing, we are going to do IELTS reading, academic IELTS reading, जान निकालती है students की. So you have to be active and alert. एक चीज करनी है, till the end मुंह सीधा रखना है. You know, sometimes you're in trouble, then your face, right? So till the end, there should be smile on your face, and don't just do that, okay, I don't know what to do and all. Even you don't know what to do, your face and smile, it should be there, right? Then you will feel better. And if you go, your emotions go with the flow of the passage, then you will not be able to complete it. So this is very important. When we start with passage 1, students are excited. Passage 2, Passage 3, gone. Okay? So you have to maintain your emotions till the end, and you should have full energy till the end. Now, whenever you start any IELTS reading question type, first of all, you will read the title of the passage, and as you read the title of the passage, you will switch on your imagination. I want you all to hold a pencil in your hand if you have today. Otherwise, next time you can bring a pencil, because when you're solving your paper, it's a very good idea to use pencil. So if you've got a pencil, you can use it now. Otherwise, now you can use pen. But later on, in actual IELTS exam, now in some test centers, they don't allow to use ballpoint. Just pencil. One of my students told me from Saudi Arabia, he went to take his IELTS test. They gave one pencil, eraser, and sharpener. And then they said, do all your tests using pencil. Okay? So anyways, you can use the pencil and get yourselves used to using pencils as well. Now, let's see. Raising the Mary Rose. Now, most of you don't understand Mary Rose, right? Because you know only one Rose in Titanic, and Mary is another one you know. So, raising Mary Rose does not mean to raise the two girls. One is Mary and one is Rose. Read the next line. How a 16th century warship was recovered from the seabed. So, Mary Rose is a Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi rajiun. Mary Rose is a warship. Okay, seabed is samundar ka niche wala hissa, right? So Mary Rose is not seabed. Mary Rose is a warship, and it is actually 16th century warship. So how it was recovered from seabed? Now you can just imagine, if you've seen Titanic, just imagine Titanic, that Budi Mai going down in the water and all that, right? So how they discovered this ship Mary Rose from the seabed, and this ship was a warship of 16th century. Again, I tell you, your imagination, your visualization will help you pay more attention. Okay? After reading title and subtitle, do not do this silly mistake that first I will read the passage, or first I will skim the passage. Some students are quite emotional. They say, if I don't understand the passage, how can I answer the question? So first I read the passage. If you read the passage, then you will only read the passage. You will not be able to answer the questions, and passage is full of information. Even after reading it, when you go back to the questions, you will forget everything, right? So right after that, you will come to the questions. Now the question type 1 to 4 is true, false, not given. Okay. Now, there are few things which you should have at your fingertips. Right? I'll just tell you, you can write them down on your question booklet, or otherwise whatever you want to do. These things should be at your fingertips. And by the way, these things are related to the questions. Like these things depend on the questions. For example, true, false not given. Number one, questions and answers will be in order. And you should know that. Okay. Number two, if true, false not given is the first 4-5 questions, usually the answers are in first, second paragraphs. Clear? You should know that. If they are like questions 1 to 5, 1 to 6, 1 to 4, so the answers are usually, I'm not using the word always, I'm saying usually they are in first paragraph, right? Now, whenever you read the question in true, false not given, you have to divide the sentence into 3 parts. For example, the question is, there is some doubt about what caused the Mary Rose to sink. Now look here. If there is some doubt what caused Mary Rose to sink, it's true. If there is no doubt, they are sure, they know why Mary Rose sank in the water, then it is false. And if they don't tell us whether there is any doubt or not about the Mary Rose, then the answer is not given. So whenever you convert the sentence into true, false, not given, you will be able to match that very statement and then decide whether the answer is true, false, or not given. One thing. The next thing about true, false, not given is you need to find a clue word. Usually in part 1, section 1, IELTS reading, academic reading, questions and answers are going to be in same order. And the tips which I am giving you, these tips are for true, false, not given. Whether you come across true, false, not given in academic IELTS or in general training IELTS, tips and techniques are same. They are not different. Okay. Now, what's the clue word here? Doubt and Mary Rose sink. So let's go back, please. The first paragraph. On 19 July 1544, got it? Yeah. Let's just, and one thing more, never read the passage without moving the pencil. You know what will happen now? For example, you just, your hands like this, all of you do your hands like this. Look at the first paragraph and read it. In your heart, read first paragraph. In your heart, no whispering, because in actual exam, you're not allowed to whisper. Okay, now stop. Now you're going to read the same paragraph and you're going to move the pencil. Come on, just do it. Read the same paragraph and move the pencil along. See that your speed is faster than the previous one. Have you noticed? Why? Because your eyes follow the pencil. And as you move the pencil, so your eyes will follow everything. And if you don't use pencil or anything you're reading like this, then your speed will be slow. So always move the pencil and all that. Okay, now we go on. Just let's go on. I'm reading third line. There is no mention of sink. It's all about built, right? So please look for something that tells about sink. Yeah, now everyone please come to King Henry VIII. Found it? First paragraph, King Henry VIII. Okay, now let's see after that. Accounts of what happened to the ship. Now what happened to the ship means how did the ship sink? What happened to the ship vary. Okay, they say vary. While witnesses agree that she means ship, exactly. For ship they use she. She was not hit by the French. Some maintain that she was outdated. So she was not hit by French. I mean, they say vary. How the ship sank, they say it actually vary. Vary means there is some doubt. People have different things. And after that they say, while witnesses agree that she was not hit by the French. So actually the ship was not hit by the French. And then they say some maintain that she was outdated. So some people say she was not hit by French. Some say she was outdated. Now please come back. There is some doubt. Now what is doubt? It was not hit by French. Some people say it was outdated. There is some doubt about what caused the Mary Rose to sink. Answer is very good. Clear? It's true, sir. Okay, not all the time. I don't play every time. Okay, honestly, true answer. Now, why true? Because they said some doubt, and for doubt they use the word very. Right? Very means there are different, and then they told us two things, two statements. One is it was not hit by French, and second is outdated. Right? Okay, now we go on. Question number 2. And you can do one thing. Wherever I find the answer, write the question number there so that when you go back home, you can practice. The line which you underline, उस line को underline करके वहाँ पे 1 लिख ले. ताकि घर जाके, when you practice, so you should know where that is. Okay, now we've got question number 2. Mary Rose was only ship. And by the way, whenever you read, do not read article. Because in our language, in Urdu, Hindi, Punjabi, articles don't have any meaning. Right? So, like if you read the Mary Rose was the only ship, simply read Mary Rose was only ship to sink in the Battle of 19th July 1544. Now look here. Encircle the word only and try to understand me. Right? And you have to be with me. If at this moment you're searching the answer, you are not with me. If you're trying to tell me the answer before I read the question, you are not with me. And if you're not with me, फिर घर जाके कर लीजिएगा, फिर यहाँ आने का फायदा नहीं है. Okay, let's do it all together. The question is, Mary Rose was the only ship to sink in the Battle of 19 July 1544. Now, if only one ship sank in that battle, answer is true. If there were 2-3 ships and Mary Rose was one of them, then the answer is false. And if they don't tell us whether Mary Rose was the only ship or there were the other ships also, right, then the answer is not given. Now please go back, 19 July 1545, same paragraph. All right, I'm reading the last 5 lines. What is undisputed, however, is that the Mary Rose sank into the Solent that day, taking at least 500 men with her. After the battle, attempts were made to recover the ship, but these failed. Now, have they mentioned Mary Rose was the only ship or there were other ships and all that? No. So the answer is well done. And by the way, now, in true, false, not given, you will find the word only frequently. You understand? In true, false, not given, you will see the word only frequently. Whenever they use the word only, this is what you have to check. Okay? Now, let's just go on. Question number 3. Most of one side of the Mary Rose. Underline one side of the Mary Rose. Now, Imagine there is a beautiful ship and one side of the ship. It can be any side, maybe this side or maybe this side and all that, right? So they say most of one side, underline most as well. See that yesterday in listening also they used most of and then they said 35%. So 35% is not most, right? Most of one side of Mary Rose lay undamaged under the sea. Now look here. If most of one side is undamaged, answer is true. If instead of most they say little, right, or they use the opposite one, then the answer is false. And if they don't tell us whether most of one side laid undamaged or not, then the answer will be not given. Now basically we'll look for the word one side of Mary Rose and undamaged. For undamaged they can use any other word. Let's go on. The next paragraph. Second paragraph on the left side, last line. Because of the way the ship sank, nearly all of the starboard half survived intact. Nearly. Now, if you don't understand starboard half, it's basically one half of the ship. Right? So they say starboard half survived intact. Survived intact means actually it is undamaged. Intact means undamaged. So for undamaged, they've used the word intact. What's the question? Most of the one side. Now what is the word for most of the one side? All of the starboard half. All of. Starboard half that survived intact. Okay, and there they say, yeah, they use the word nearly. Sorry, nearly all. Now nearly all means most of. The write it down somewhere. Nearly all is equal to most. Nearly all is equal to most. Right? Yes, exactly. So the question is, most of one side of the Mary Rose lay undamaged. Now what is the word for undamaged? Intact. Exactly. Intact is undamaged. So the answer is true. Fantastic. So far so good. Yeah. You should repeat all these things. जहाँ जहाँ पे आंसर मिल रहा है क्वेश्चन नंबर लिखते जाएं so that you could practice at home as well. Now we've got question number 4. Alexander McKee knew. This is very, very common in true, false, not given. Once you solve 8 to 10 tests, you will understand their techniques. Because I solve tests almost every other day. I teach tests. Then now I understand. Now see that the word here is Alexander McKee knew that the wreck would contain many valuable historical objects. Now look here. If Alexander knew कि अगर उसको पता था, then the answer is true. And क्या पता था? Wreck means the wreckage, like you know the remaining part of the ship after wreckage. Wreck would contain many valuable historical objects. If he knew that the wreckage of the ship, like you know in Titanic, if you've seen, there is actually some old monuments and all that. So if that Alexander McKee knew that there would be some old things in the ship, then it is true. If he did not know, then false. And if they don't mention whether he knew it or not, then not given. So you should divide it into 3 parts. Always divide it into 3 parts. Now let's go back. And by the way, your clue word is Alexander McKee. Alexander McKee. Yeah. Alexander McKee is mentioned in the second page, left side column, second paragraph. Second page of the passage, left side column, second paragraph. Further excavation. Are you there? Yes. Mil gaya sabko? Okay. Further excavation. Please come to 5th line. McKee is mentioned there. Right? And if the words are unusual, don't try to read them. I'm reading McKee as McKee. That's okay. Fun also. You will enjoy. Mood bhi acha rahega. हाँ McKee ने की कीता yeah. McKee and his team now knew. Now they say, okay, let's go back and read from there. Further excavations revealed stray pieces of timber and an iron gun. But the climax to the operation came when on 5 May 1971, I'm reading that paragraph, part of the ship's frame was uncovered. McKee and his team now knew for certain that they had found the wreck, but were as yet unaware. See that wreck they found, they knew that. Now many of you will not read after that. यहीं पे कहेंगे he knew, answer is true. जान छोटी आगे चलो. So you need to make sure. This is what we call trap. What's the trap? Now they are talking about some other thing. They are not talking about the things they found in the ship. They are talking about the wreckage of the ship. Wreckage means the dead body of the ship. Okay, yeah, in simple words. So McKee and his team now knew. Now if you read until here, you say now knew, answer is true, and that's it. Now read on, because they changed their statement. Now knew for certain that they had found the wreck, but were as yet unaware that it also housed a treasure trove of beautifully preserved artifacts. Unaware. Unaware means they did not know. Past tense. They did not know. Now go back to the question. Alexander McKee knew that the wreckage would contain many valuable. What is the word for valuable? Important. Treasure. They have used the word a treasure trove of beautifully preserved artifacts. What is the word for artifacts? Historical objects. So this is what you need to find. Always find. And I would suggest you make a notebook where you can write all these words. Words in question, words in passage. So just write them and this will help you. Okay? So the answer to question number 4 is false. Why false? Because he did not know about that. He was unaware. So for knew, they use the word unaware. Unaware is opposite of that. Is this clear? Yes. Okay, thank you.